this is Don King, and you're watching God Your Grill Boxing. Stay tuned. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah.
I actually read online that you're going to go to Israel.
Yes, I'm going to Israel. I'm leaving tomorrow or the next day after tomorrow, Friday, to go to Israel to be in the peace talks. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I'll be in there and I will say my piece.
Peace talk. That's
yeah,
kind of
the
like
peace
an irony.
for world peace. You know what I mean? World peace, brother. I'll be over there with Shimon Peres and the president of Israel now, and to go see the biblical places and go see where my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ was that way, carried the cross, the road to Jericho. So it's gonna be. I ain't got enough time to really stay there as long as I would like to stay.
I like how you broke down the scriptures in the beginning.
Actually, the opening speech. Are you doing that everywhere you go to inspire people to,
Yeah,
I didn't
vote.
even know you wasn't. I didn't know you were a Christian until today.
Yes, I've been a Christian. I'm like a voice like John the Baptist, a voice crying in the wilderness, that one is coming greater than I, of whom I'm not worthy of tying his shoelace. You know what I mean? So I have to be like that. And I think about Apostle Paul, and I think of the letters to the Corinthians and all of the things, the most prolific writer of the New Testament. You know what I mean? Saul, Saul, why thou persecutest me? In the twinkling of an eye is converted and became a servant of the Lord. Oh, yes. Oh, man. No, I know one. Knock, and the door shall be open. Seek, and you shall find. Ask, and you shall be given. You know what I mean? So always remember that. Don't hesitate to ask. You know, all they can do is say no.
John, can I have one of your chains?
Oh, yeah, you can have many of them. Take the dream of the chain and I'll make it come into living reality.
Yes. Back to boxing. What can we expect from Don King Promotions in the coming years? You guys have actually been fighters.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be going to China. I'm spreading it around the world. I just left Germany, and the little guy in Germany, he lost his way. Man. You're watching, what's the name of
God Your Grill Boxing.
God Your Grill Boxing.
Don, I have a question for you.
The cross.
I have a question for you. As you can tell, the sport of boxing, the casual fighting fan seems to diminish because of the lack of quality fights, like Floyd retiring early without fighting credible opponents, and as Steve Cunningham just mentioned, certain people not wanting to fight him because of money issues. How can you see, where do you see boxing in the future, and what is your part in making boxing a broad appeal sport for the masses of sports fans?
Such as you've done in the past.
Yeah, such as you've done in the past.
You gotta get heroes, but see, I'm a promoter of the people, for the people, and by the people. And my magic lies in my people ties. Boxing is just a catalyst that brings them together. Boxing is, I guess that's why I'm going into the peace talk. Because it ain't about boxing. Boxing is a competitive sport. They don't give you a chance to do that, so you need heroes. You need somebody that can come up and capture the imagination of the people. And so now many of the would-be boxers have more options. When we were coming up, there was no option for a black man in America. You know what I mean? So you had to be able to go out. You couldn't play basketball. You couldn't play football. And if you did, you was at the bottom rung of the ladder. And the baseball in 1947, before they let Jackie Robinson come in. But they had great black baseball players, Josh Gibson and all the rest of them there. But it was the hypocrisy of my beloved country, America. My country, 'tis a thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing, I pray, and I work. So you got to understand, the doors are open now, but boxing will be there no matter what happens. It's in the doldrums now, lack of heroic effort. So when we get there, and our work ethic is also slowed down because they have made money. Everybody want to know what network I'm going to be in. They've got hedonistically hypnotized. They used to be in the gym like Steve Cunningham. Stay in that gym, you're going to come out and be victorious and be able to win the fame and acclaim and affluence. But you don't have the ABC Wide World of Sports or the Showtime Sports. They don't have those things where they could have the Boxing USA boxing on Tuesday night, and where you could be able to expose the guys so they would be seen, so they could become heroes or sheroes. Now, you know what I mean, you got monopoly of the networks.
Since you lost those, you know, those Tuesday night fights and the worldwide sports on ABC or whatever, isn't it because the ratings are low because you have the lack of heroism in boxing?
No, it's not because they had good ratings then, but they were looking at boxing with disdain. They, you know, that's what they've done in America to black people. They couple you with negative associations. So if you don't like the negative association, you don't like blackness. Sin, lewdness, licorousness, depravity. You know what I mean? They come back at you with ignorance and poverty. You know what I mean? And this is what you have to go up against. And so you don't like none of these undesirable conditions. You don't like the class of people that's associated with them. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to understand what it is. And so when boxing was rolling, these guys were really catapulting themselves into prominence. They shut the door on that because the sponsors say they didn't want to be associated with this. The sponsors don't want to be associated with that. That's another form of using, you know, whatever it is for whatever method of discrimination that they would put into or how they wanted to do it. Now they're sponsored this other one. You got this MMA, that's kicking, biting, putting elbows, doing the very thing that a sophisticated society would say we're trying to get rid of for the betterment of the fighter, for the health of the fighter. You know, and doctors in the corner, doctors in the ambulances at the arena door. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's the thing here, the game goes on. So what you have to learn how to do is to adapt like the chameleon, to be able to change with the times. You can't hang on to the good old days because ain't nothing good about the good old days but that they're gone. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ in Revelation chapter 16 says, "Behold, I make all things new."
Well, who do you define?
Former things have passed away.
What do you define as a hero in boxing? Why don't you just give us a brief explanation?
An exciting fighter that goes in and knock people out like Tyson, like Muhammad Ali.
Big Mike like knockouts.
You know, Big Mike, you know what I mean, go out there. For Larry Holmes, one of the greatest heavyweights that ever walked, in underestimated. Larry Holmes, Ken Norton, Big George Foreman. You know what I mean? These are the things that you want to see of yesteryear, the Brown Bummer Joe Louis.
I noticed you named all heavyweights.
Yes, but that's what it can.
We need to solidify the heavyweight division again and try to get some stars up there.
Absolutely. Very perceptive on your part. But you know what?
Sleep likes heavyweights.
Yes. And you know that you understand that we got some great little guys. As Victor Hugo said, the greatness of a nation is more can be determined by others than that a little man can be determined by size. That's all right. Julio Cesar Chavez, Roberto Manos de Piedra Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, you know what I mean? All of these guys that was there, you know, Rocky Marciano, he was a heavyweight. Rocky Graziano, he was a middleweight. You know what I mean? So you had all the guys that were there that were inimitable and incomparable, you know, in doing their thing. And Joe Louis, God bless his spirit, he beat that guy from Germany, Max Schmeling, who I happened to meet and love. But nevertheless, during that time, he was the glory of the Third Reich. You know what I mean? And we had to knock it down. You know what I mean? So for humanity's sake, Joe Louis did his job, and he did it with great aplomb. So happy.
So we have a lack of heroism, and we have
exciting fighter, man, that can punch and knock people out, but very pleasing, and then he can talk trash to make people get all excited and get behind him.
That's a big point.
You know what I mean?
Trash talk.
And go out there and then do it. Fulfill the prophecy.
So what are you doing as a promoter to go out and find those prospects that could carry the sport of boxing on his back?
George Bush? That's George Bush, man.
Look at that.
You know, yeah, what's happening? I can't.
George Bush.
Don King from Guards of Girl Boxing.